Hi, everybody. It is Sam Goodman, the Hop Nerd here, joining you for another Hop Nerd live stream. I can't seem to get the words out of my mouth, even right at the beginning today, for some wacky reason. It's been a long day. How's your day treating you? I hope everything's going well for you wherever you are at. Before we jump into this thing, do me a favor, head over to the website, www.thehopnerd.com. Follow along on all things social media at The Hop Nerd, except for Twitter, because it is super duper special. It is The Hop Nerd 1. It's always got to be something weird and wacky and a little bit different, right? None of that stuff ever completely lines up. That's just life. Send me an email, sam@thehopnerd.com or thehopnerd@gmail.com. Those are both easy, handy, dandy ways to get a hold of me. Tune into our live show every Wednesday and Friday, and I'm going to say this right now because I'm early. So some of you are going to call me out on that because I'm early. I've got stuff going on tonight. We live in a weird and wacky time right now, and I got to go do some stuff tonight. So I had to kind of move things up a little bit, so I hope you're cool with that. I'm cool with that. It makes my life easier. Hopefully it makes your life, hopefully it's inconsequential to your life. That's really what we're hoping for here, I guess, that it doesn't make that big of a difference either way. I'm just glad that I get to be here, and I hope you're glad that we get to continue to have this conversation. But if you are continuing to join us, please head over and check out www.thehopnerd.tv. That's www.thehopnerd.tv. That's a really easy way to watch the live show. So it's usually Wednesdays at 5, Fridays at 8. You know that. I say that a bunch. We live in a weird and wacky time right now, and I've got some stuff I got to do tonight. So 8 just doesn't work, and I didn't want to skip. So this is me not skipping. I'm here at 2-something. I was shooting for 2. I had some other stuff going on because I was working on some podcast stuff. So you'll see the podcast I'm putting out 3 episodes every single week, as you know. Main episode on Monday, mini episode on Wednesday, and usually a main episode on Friday. So 2 full episodes a week plus 1 mini episode. And I'm going to do that for as long as I feel like doing that. I mean, I'll just be honest with you. I'm going to do it as long as it makes sense for me to do it, and as long as I'm happy doing that. And as soon as I get sad by that, I'm like, this is too much. Or maybe I'll be like, this isn't enough, and I'll do like 7 a week. I don't know. But we'll see. I'll continue to keep you updated. Either way, I'm going to keep pumping you out some really good podcast content, and I hope you're following along with that. Please head over. A really easy way to find that is you can find that on Apple Podcasts. You can find that on Spotify. You can find that on all those different places. When I tune into podcasts, I'm usually listening on either Apple Podcasts or I'm listening to Spotify. But there's lots of other ways that you can find podcasts, obviously, and you can pretty much find me anywhere that you like to listen to podcasts. So just search The Hop Nerd. You'll see. I always get this confused. It's over here. There we go. Oh, no, I'm backwards. I'm looking at myself in the TV over here, and everything's kind of wonky and ass backwards. So it's over here. There we go. Right there. You'll see that logo. That logo right there. That's how you know you're in the right spot on just about anything that's mine. Right. So when you look up the podcast, you'll find it right there. Again, you can always text me. I'm backwards again. There we go. 480-877-0155. You can call me right over here. 480-712-5219. Let's get this party started. Let's get this shindig kicked off. This is your show. We talk human and organizational performance. We talk safety. We talk work. We talk organizational culture. We talk anything and everything work, but also anything and everything that's not work too. We're going to talk about the news. We're going to talk about all kinds of wacky, weird stuff that really just whatever I feel like talking about. And whatever you feel like talking about, jump in the comments. I've got your comments pulled up over here on my ancient Apple, on my ancient MacBook that I always rant and talk crap about, but it's working kind of, so I can see some of your stuff. I'm watching the Facebook feeds. Well, I was, and I just realized that I just accidentally closed a bunch of stuff, so that's probably not good. Oopsie. So I was watching the Facebook feeds. I'll work on getting that stuff pulled back up. And I don't think they're supposed to get this hot, but it does. But I'm watching the comments. I'm checking on everything that's going on over here. So you can jump in, have that conversation multiple different ways. And that's what we're going to do. We're just going to continue having this conversation. As you know, every single week, week after week, I've been doing this daily. So I'm going to continue doing this daily as much as it makes sense to do that, just because we're all far apart. We're all distanced. We don't get to see folks as regularly as we would like to. I know I don't. I'd shared that story with you quite a bit this week, that I have been that I had the opportunity, the duty, I'll put it that way, I had the duty and responsibility to go back and do some work stuff in person that I had to do. And while I'm encouraging you to stay home, if it's what I'm encouraging you to stay home because it's the right thing to do. I was required to get out of the house. So I had to go out for a little bit, had to do some stuff. I got to see some people. We maintained our distance. You could see as we kind of do that. I call it the COVID shuffle, where you kind of walk around people like this. You're like, oh, you're too close, you're too close. And I would say that even in that situation, we probably maintained 8-10 foot distance, right? I mean, it was pretty easy because there's no one really at the locations that I was going to. So pretty interesting thing to deal with, pretty interesting thing to see. It's really interesting to see how workplaces are adapting to this stuff. Obviously, I think that's neat. I see that a lot of workplaces again are continuing to do smart things. I ranted about that a little bit yesterday. I'm not going to get into that rant about the ones that are not doing the right things or the smart things. You know my feelings. If you want to know my feelings, you can go back and check out yesterday's live stream. I can say I was probably a little frustrated with some stupid companies out there. But I would like to hear your stories. How's that going for you? How's work treating you? I shared with you again yesterday that I feel very blessed, very fortunate for the amazing company that I work for because they really, really, really do take very good care of their employees. And they're amazing. They're just amazing. So I hope that's the same thing that's going on in your neck of the woods. Let me know. Give me a call, 480-712-5219. We'll try this phone line thing out. We'll see how it works. I don't know, but we'll give it a shot. We'll work the bugs out. We'll work the kinks out as we go. I've got to go to the grocery store tonight. I'm thinking tonight. That's going to be interesting. I want to see how that goes. I'm a Sam's Club person, so I'm going to cruise over to Sam's Club, try to pick up some stuff for the week. Here in Arizona, we're still encouraging buying groceries 1 week at a time. That's what the governor keeps saying. I'll buy a little bit more. I've been slowly stockpiling some stuff that makes sense. Again, panic doesn't do any good. Being prepared does a lot of good, though, right? So when I go out, fortunately we had just bought, before everything hit, we had just bought this gigantic thing of TP, so we didn't really have to worry too much about that. But I've got to continue over to the grocery store tonight, just pick up some random stuff or general weekly groceries, as normal as that can be right now. Things aren't completely normal, but we're trying to make it as normal as we can and try to get the normal stuff, as much of it as we can. But I am continuing to pick up little tidbits of this and little pieces of that. If I go in and there's rice, I'll usually get like an extra bag right now, just because I was talking to a near and dear friend of mine today. So this is something, this really touched my heart, and I know I get a little, I've kind of weaved through my stories as I go, but this really touched my heart today. I had a near and dear friend of mine that I work with call me, and I was working from home today. That was nice. So as I shared with you, here's more story. I just layer stories together. As I mentioned, all week I was working from different locations trying to help the organization that I work for, my day job, do screenings, basically symptom checks and screenings and getting that set up and protecting screeners and what that looks like, and helping work on engineering controls to protect screeners and all kinds of, just imagine if you're familiar at all with utilities or power generation, we're in our spring outage seasons, which means that we're bringing in tons and tons and tons of contractors from all over the United States. It's not a fun time right now. We were already into these outages, basically meaning that your power plants are pulled apart, doing maintenance and servicing and all this repair work and all that crap that goes along with that. And then we go, oh yeah, by the way, it's the apocalypse. Power generation is kind of important, so we want to keep your lights on. We want to make sure that everything's going pretty normal for you. We don't want you to lose juice. So we had to kind of respond to that and figure out what that looks like. Bringing in all these contractors, right, through multiple sites, multiple sites. And there's a lot of utilities that are going through the same thing right now all across the United States, because spring and fall are the primary outage season. So any utility is going through this right now. And I'll get back to my story in just a second. I just want to kill some time here. But that's what I was doing all this week, was helping set up what that looks like, how we do symptom checks, how we can do symptom checks non-contact, how we can check temperatures non-contact, how we can protect people that are screening folks coming into our sites. how we make sure that there's proper engineering controls, because we're probably not going to have all the PPE that we need to continue this stuff long term. How we keep folks separated, the whole thing, right? The whole thing. How we protect folks out there, how we screen folks coming into our sites, and so on. So I spent a good chunk of the week doing that, trying to round up stuff for that, and helping with that as much as I could. And then today, I was working from home, working on some stuff, and I got a phone call. And this is where I'm getting back to the part that kind of really warmed my heart, and is right in line with a lot of the message that we've been sharing. I got a phone call, and I was on another call doing some other stuff, and I seen it ring, and it was one of my near and dear friends from work. I'm like, oh crap, what's going on now? There's probably something going on. Right, that's usually what most of us get when we get the random phone call towards the end of the day. We're like, oh, I bet this is something bad. It's too late for it to be something good. Right? And so I got a voicemail, and the voicemail was, hey, I was just calling to check on you. I'm working from home today. I think you're working from home today too. I just wanted to give you a call. Nothing going on at work or anything. I just wanted to see how you're doing. I know I moved to Phoenix about 10 years-ish ago. I don't have a lot of immediate family here in the local area. It's pretty much me, my significant other, my daughter, some friends, and that's really it. I don't really have any family here. His family is mostly in California, so we really don't have much immediate family here. Have some pretty good friends, such as this one. And he went on to say, he's like, listen, I was just wanted to call, make sure you had everything you needed. Just wanted to make sure, you're doing good. Is there anything you need? And he, kind of touched on it. He said, I know that you don't have, most of your family's back east. I know that you don't have any real immediate family right here. So I just wanted to let you know that I'm here for you. If you need anything, let me know. Just wanted to talk to you and make sure everything was okay. And then when I got the phone call, I called him back, and then we had that conversation. Now, obviously, offered up the same kind of thing to him and his. But I thought that was really, really cool. I've been ranting about that for the past little bit, right? I've been going on and on and on and on talking about that, about how we need to be reaching out to folks and helping, not hiding. And I thought that was such a perfect example of that. That really, you can't really see it in the camera, but I've got a little goosebumps going on here talking about it. I just thought that was amazing. It really touched my heart. It's really something that I'll never forget. Just a simple act of kindness that I didn't even think I've never thought that's what that was going to be. Right now, it just kind of hit me, and I've been smiling the rest of the day just because of that. So see this, look at this. I'm not mad today. I won't rant about stuff today. I'll totally rant about stuff. You know that. But I thought that was cool. So, again, reach out to people. Ask people what they need. See how you can help. Just calling someone and saying that simple message. I didn't need anything. I told them, listen, I shared with them what I just shared with you. I've been squirreling stuff away just little by little, not hoarding, not panicking. But, if I go to Sam's Club, I'll buy, a little case of beans, a little bit of rice, a little bit of stuff just to have just in case, in case we get stuck in the house for a little while. We got plenty. And that's what I told him. I said, listen, we got plenty too. If you need anything, don't hesitate. Let me know. And that's, he said, I'm going to Sam's on Tuesday. And I said, well, I'm going tonight. So if you need anything, I'll pick it up for you, right? So in case you can't find it by Tuesday. But those little things go so far. So I'm going to hit you with that message right now, and I'm sure I'll say it a few more times before we get off of this whole thing. And I'm continuing to tell you that every single day, multiple times, is that it's a time for helping, not hiding. That's a perfect example of someone helping and not hiding it, and doing it at a distance. Just picking up the phone and saying, hey, buddy, you okay? Just want to make sure everything's good. And the other message that I shared with you goes right in line with being prepared, not panicked, right? That's huge too. We want to make sure that we're not going out and wiping out the shelves and doing more harm than we are good. If you go out and you buy all the toilet paper in the store and grandma can't get toilet paper, who are you really helping? Right? I'm not going to rant about that. I've ranted about that enough. But again, get what you need for the week and pick up a little extra. That's really the main message that I keep hearing over and over from just about everybody. That's what I keep hearing from our governor here in Arizona. Buy your groceries a week at a time. Don't buy too much. Get a little extra. That's it. That's really all you need. That's really all you need right now. Like I said, if you want to pick up an extra bag of rice, a little bit of beans, buy some dry goods, buy some canned goods, that's probably a smart thing. Just leave enough to where everybody can get a little bit extra, right? Everything's fine. That's how you be prepared and not panic. So I wanted to share that with you. I thought that was super cool. It made my day. It really put the cherry on top of my week. I've actually had a pretty solid week. I told you I got to get out of here. I got to get out of the house for a little bit because I had to. Again, I had to. So don't get mad at me. I had to. I told you the whole story there, what I was doing. trying to help support some folks out there that are essential, right? That absolutely are essential into keeping our electricity on, the electricity moving, the light switch working, right? So I wanted to help with that as much as I could. Going back into distanced this week as much as I can, and that's it. So I had to get out and do all that stuff, and it was nice. I have to say it was nice. But I want to encourage you to do this. I know most of you shouldn't get out and do that. You know, I had to. Again, I had to, so don't get mad. But there's things that you can do. Get outside and take a walk if you can. Right now, it's not good to be completely scrolled away in the house. It's just not. Right? It's just not. Most things that I have continued to see, and Arizona has been very, 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 very good with this, is encouraging folks to get out of the house and go out and do some walking. Go hit the trails. Their trails remain open, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You can't just bar people in their houses and expect good things to happen. You have to really think about the negative side effects of that stuff. Is the cure worse than the disease? And I know some people get mad when folks say that, but it's kind of sort of true. Let's not be dumbasses here and pretend like everything doesn't have consequence. Can we just admit that if you force people into their homes and say, thou shalt not come out, then there's probably going to be some consequence there. Things are going to happen. We're seeing upticks in domestic violence. We're seeing that happen right now. We're seeing businesses crumble. We're seeing that happen right now. So when this is all said and done, we want to make sure that we actually have a world that's worth surviving in. You think, right? You think, right? That might make sense. So we really have to think through everything that's happening. So again, having the most states encouraging folks to continue to get outside and do that kind of stuff while maintaining social distance, while being smart about it, while practicing some general precautions. You should. You need to get out. You need to get sunshine. You need to get out. You need to go for a little bit of a walk. Go for a run. Go hit the trails if you can. Arizona is absolutely adamant about keeping the golf courses open, and they continue to stay open. Right, I drive past Phoenix Country Club every day on my way home, and it's still there's still people out there smacking around golf balls, out there goofing around, right? But you see them; they're all like 20 foot apart, so they're doing pretty good. I have to say they're doing pretty good. But it makes sense to get out for a little bit. It makes sense to do things that are good for your mental well-being, that are good for your sanity. That makes sense. So please continue to do that. One thing that we did. It was my partner, my significant other, Jarrell. It was his birthday not too long ago, so he got to celebrate his birthday during the apocalypse. I got to plan a birthday during the apocalypse, so that's a whole nother story in and of itself. It was interesting. It was interesting. It was very trimmed back compared to what most birthday parties are, right? It was very trimmed back. You couldn't really get everything that you would want to normally get. You just couldn't get your hands on it. So. It was interesting, but we made it happen, and I thought it ended up being a pretty good birthday. He loved it, or at least he said he did, so he better not be lying to me. But we had to go out and do that kind of birthday stuff, myself and my daughter. We kind of planned all that stuff. And one of the presents that we got, which came in late, of course, because shipping's a nightmare right now, and I totally understand that. But we ordered bicycles. So our daughter has a bicycle, right? She's 5. She's got a bicycle. She got a bicycle and a scooter and a big wheel and those little powered horse things. You're right. She has everything. I want like the full-sized powered. You guys seen them around Christmas, right? Everybody's seen these in Walmart. They're like the little horses. They're like horses, but they're power wheels, and you can cruise around on them. Yeah, I totally want one of those. It's like the ones that you can ride in the mall. You've probably seen those at the mall. I want one of those just to cruise around town on. I think that'd be kind of cool. If they totally did that, you've probably seen those zebra. Is it zebra? Is it zebra scooters? Zebra scooters? Is that what it is? Where you can get them for like $100 a month, and they're electric. And I've seen a bunch of those spring up around Phoenix lately. I thought those were kind of cool. They're a little slow, but if you could pack that like little like battery powered scooter to look like a horse, I would totally do that. Or hers is a unicorn. I would totally go with the unicorn. I think that would be a blast. But yeah, so we got bicycles and we mentioned Avery already has hers, but we got bicycles, and there's a lot of trails for us that run around the canal. So we have kind of Arizona has a pretty massive canal system, right? That's how you kind of get water here. But so we have that massive canal system, and we can just hop on our bikes. We live in a pretty cool neighborhood. I've shared before. We're downtown. We're in the middle of downtown Phoenix. So you have like downtown and uptown and kind of the stuff around that. We're kind of, there's skyscrapers, and we're kind of skyscrapers. We're kind of in this little neighborhood where there's just no skyscrapers, right? But it's still middle of downtown, so it's kind of cool. But so we've got lots of room to cruise around and go have fun and all that stuff. When we finally bought them, we'd been talking about getting bicycles for like a year or 2 years, and I was like, finally, like, screw this. It's his birthday. I'm going to get him a cool bicycle. I'm going to use that excuse to buy me a bicycle too. So, because especially right now, because we can't go to the gym, we just took off. So last night was our first night on bicycles. Dumbass me here. Like, I didn't realize that there was a difference in like the valve stems on bicycle tires between, I thought they all took the normal, it's what they call like a Schrader valve or something. There's two different ones, and I didn't have the right pump. So when we go to get groceries tonight, I've got to be on the hunt for that, because the bike that I ordered for myself has a weird, wacky little valve on it. I didn't know. I'm not a bike nerd, but I'm having fun with it. It's a blast. We went around for like hours last night just cruising around on bicycles because we haven't been out of the house. We haven't been to the gym. We haven't done anything cool like that. That's been physical and outdoors and fun for quite a while. So it was a blast to get out here and go do that. I just loved it. I think he liked it too. It was kind of cool. We got to get some other stuff. We need like headlight, tail light, those kind of things. We need like little bags, because there, you can really go miles and miles and miles and miles and miles away from the house here in Phoenix. Beautiful, beautiful riding around the canals and beautiful trails and just fun. Just fun. So we're going to start doing that, I think, to help get our outdoor time in, our sanity, our exercise in, because we just haven't had the opportunity to do any type of real exercise lately. Our house, we live in a townhouse type thing. As you kind of come into downtown Phoenix, we should do a tour of the Hop Nerd Studios. We'll do a tour of the house one day. We'll do all that stuff, just to kind of share. We've been meaning to do some like vlogs and stuff, anyways, even over here on the Hop Nerd, to just kind of break up the monotony of just talking work and business and just show some of our life. People like that, and we're open to sharing. So we'll show you where we live one day, but. It's nice. We live kind of in the middle of everything, and we can just run down the garage, hop on the bikes, and take off. And then we're just in the heart of everything. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. We're having a blast with it. The house came with like a built-in pull-up bar type thing. So that's there, and we're working on trying to figure out how to get a home gym built right now. I don't know exactly how that's going to go with everything that's happening. It's been pretty wild because we can't find gym stuff. That's been one of the things that we really just can't find right now is gym supplies. We've been thinking about that for a little bit. We've been, even before this whole apocalypse thing, we thought about that, about trying to build a home gym. And I ranted a little bit about this yesterday. But we want to we want to get a home gym built, and now's not a good time. Unfortunately, it's really hard. I don't know if anybody's looked for fitness equipment right now. If you have any tips, if you have any tips on what to where to get fitness equipment right now, I'd really like to hear about it, because we can't find it. I've been browsing around. I haven't really scoured like the whole Craigslist kind of. I don't know. I'm just not. I'm not a Craigslist person. I don't think it just has this icky feel to it. And especially right now, right? I probably don't want to go to somebody's house right now. That's probably not smart. But what I'm really looking for is just a place to order stuff. So I kind of find random stuff here and there. So in the coming weeks, if it really looks like we're going to be on absolute lockdown for quite a while, I'll probably end up ordering some stuff, trying to get some stuff here. And I say I can't find stuff. I'm finding stuff kind of sporadically. So if anybody out there knows of any really good sources, any good places to really get some decent gym equipment. And when I say decent, I'm talking like comparable to Rogue, comparable to other stuff like that. Because if we're going to get it, we're going to get it, right? If we're going to get I'm probably going to do like some type of power rack bench combo type of thing, plus a couple extra bars, some other stuff. We've been into powerlifting for quite a while, so I'm pretty particular about certain setups. If I could squeeze a monolift into my garage, I would totally squeeze a monolift. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go Google that. But I'm really thinking about. I'm very particular with this stuff. So again, it's a struggle because I want to get more like a competition style bench and at least a really decent squat rack, hopefully freestanding type of thing. I'm really, really particular with bars and all that stuff. So it's a really hard time to be particular with stuff. So if you know of anything, please, pretty please, point me in the direction of some of that stuff because I can't find anything. I just can't find anything. So again, how are things going for you out there? I've been sitting here. I've just been chatting and ranting and telling you about my life. I'm interested in what's going on in your world. 480-712-5219. You can always give us a call. You can always shoot us a text as well, if I can find that. There it is. 480-877-0155 is a really handy, easy way to get a hold of us, too. You can text this handy-dandy phone number very easily, and we can have a chat that way. You bring it up, we'll talk about it. You have questions, comments, stories to tell. I'm all ears. Most folks out there listening are probably all ears right now. Why? Because we're all squirreled away in this quarantine situation. I'm this weird mix, so I'm not going too crazy. I'll level with you. I would be interested in how everyone's handling this how everyone's handling this stuff, but with us, the only thing that's really killing us is the routine part. I've shared this with you, but it's the routine part. It's really the getting up, going to work, getting home from work, chilling out for a little bit, running to the gym, going by the store, going out and doing fun stuff, all that kind of stuff. It's really that. It's really that stuff that we're missing, because we really keep a pretty hardcore routine, I guess, for some, or at least it seems that way when people go, "What the hell do you?" Because I'll get up at like 5, sometimes 4:30 in the morning. Get to work. Maybe I'll get up, do some stuff. Work on some stuff, either work on work stuff, work on this stuff, work on something else sometimes. I usually don't drag too much ass, I guess is what I'm saying. I usually get up, I'll head over to work, so 4:30, 5 o'clock, get out of the door around 5:30 or 6, sometimes as late as 6:30 if I'm working on something in the house, get to work, spend all day at work, get home, linger, lounge for just a few minutes, and then we'll run to the gym. And then by the time we go to the gym, by the time we go to the store, by the time we do all that kind of stuff, we get home, it's like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. We eat some dinner and we hang out on the couch for a little bit, and then we go to bed. That's the stuff that I miss, because now I wake up and I'm like, what do I do with all of my time? And that's some of this, right? That's some of sitting here working on this. Obviously, I'm working from home. I'm working on a bunch of stuff from home, too. I'm continuing to do my normal kind of work. That takes up a good portion of my day. But even with that, I'm one of those folks that, and when I start on something, I just finish it. So when I put my nose to the grindstone, it's just like that. I'm just like, okay, I'm done with that. Now what? And then I'll just bust ass until I get done with the next thing. Okay, I'm done with that. And then eventually you run out of things, though, right? So especially when you're at home and you can really like focus in on what you're working on. You're not having to do the, hey, Bob, hey, Sally, how's everything going? And I love that. Don't get me wrong, but you can really just focus in GSD, get stuff done, right? You can really get some shit done while you're at the house. So then for the rest of the day, I'm like, what the hell do I do? And that's part of the reason why I'm here hanging out with you so much, because I get all that done and then I'm like, guess what? I'm just going to live stream, because number one, I love this. This is fun. Number two, I don't know what else to do with my hands, so I'm here doing this. Just here ranting and talking about stuff. So I would love to hear from you. Shoot me a text, 480-877-0155. Again, you can give us a call at 480-712-5219. I always look forward to talking to you. Make sure you head over to the website, www.thehopnerd.com. And always remember that we do these live streams. The times are pretty wacky right now. The world's wacky right now. So that's all we can really say. I'm going to keep being wacky just because I don't know what the hell is going on from day to day to day. So sometimes they're going to be at 2:13. I think sometime around that is when we started today. Sometimes they're going to be at noon. Sometimes they're going to be at midnight. I don't know. I'm just going to keep doing them when they make sense for me to do them until things get back to some level of normal. And then we'll go back to our Wednesdays at 5, Fridays at 8. schedule. And that's the normal, right? Wednesdays at 5, Friday at 8. And you can find that everywhere. You can watch it on Facebook. You can watch it on YouTube. You can go to www.thehopnerd.tv and watch it there. Twitch, working on setting up with everything else too. I know people keep saying, why aren't you on this? Why aren't you on that? Why aren't you? I don't know. Half the shit I didn't know existed. So if I'm not on something that you would like to watch me on, let me know. And if I can get set up there, I'll gladly set up shop there too. Let's jump into a little bit of the news and see what's going on out there in the world. Half the time I sit here and everything's all good, and then I start like flailing my arms around, and then my handy dandy security cameras in the office here in the Hop Nerd Studios, you can hear it echoing now. Start picking up and going, hey, there's somebody in the studio. And I'm like, yeah, I know, it's me. I'm here. So I keep getting this random bzz, bzz going on with my phone. But yeah, let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on out there in the world. Search underway for 2 members of the Kennedy family missing in the Chesapeake Bay. Washington, CNN, 2 members of the Kennedy family, Maeve, I think that's how you say that, Maeve and McKean. I hope that I'm not pronouncing those wrong. Maeve Kennedy is okay. I'm lost on the name pronunciation here. Let's just say 2 members of the Kennedy family, Maeve Kennedy McKean and her 8-year-old son Gideon, have been reported missing in the Chesapeake Bay near Annapolis, Maryland, since Thursday. McKean is the granddaughter of former U.S. Attorney General and Senator Robert F. Kennedy. She is a public health and human rights lawyer and serves as the executive director of the Georgetown University Global Health Initiative. At this time, our family asks for privacy, that everyone keep Maeve and Gideon in their prayers, the Kennedy family said, the statement provided by a spokesperson. McKean's husband, David McKean, told the Washington Post that his family was visiting his wife's mother's waterfront property in Shadyside, Maryland, when the children played in the yard, kicked a ball into the water, and his wife and son popped in a canoe to chase it down. They just got farther out than they could paddle and could not get back in, he told the paper. The U.S. Coast Guard confirmed that they are conducting a search for 2 missing canoers and that crews on boats and helicopters were continuing the search Friday morning. Coast Guard officials received a report of 2 individuals were seen struggling to return to shore in a canoe near Herring Bay, 10 miles south of Annapolis, and were not seen again, according to a statement Friday. That's pretty heavy stuff there. That's pretty sad stuff. The Kennedys, man, what the heck? They just continue on with the Kennedy curse, it seems like. Sad stuff. You always hate to see that. Easy to do. That's easy to do if you've ever been around swiftwater. You understand how hard a canoe is to manage anyways. And you get that into a pretty good amount of swift water, and it would be hard to get back. And I don't know how long they've been missing, but let's say remain hopeful, I guess, but sad stuff. Queen Anne Police Department, Maryland and Natural Resources Police and Maryland State Police have been assisting in the search, the Coast Guard said. An intensive search has been underway since yesterday. So this has been going on for about 24 hours, it sounds like. During a news conference, Hogan said he spoke with McKean's mother, former Maryland Lieutenant Governor Kathleen Kennedy Townsend, Friday morning. On behalf of the people of Maryland, I expressed our most heartfelt sympathies and prayers to her and to her entire family during this difficult time. So that's rough stuff. We know this. It goes on to say that over the decades, the Kennedy family has endured high-profile tragedies. Both McKean's grandfather and great-uncle were assassinated. We know that. McKean's cousin John F. Kennedy Jr. and his wife Carolyn were killed in a plane crash 2 decades ago. There's been a lot of weird and wacky stuff that has continued on with that family. And I won't get all conspiracy theory here on you. You can go do that on your own, but it's just strange. That's always just kind of strange, the level of kind of craziness that has gone on there. Let's take a look over here. Trump announces new Face Mac. You take a Big Mac and throw it on your face. Makes total sense. It probably does about as good as some of this stuff that they're recommending right now. And we'll read about that as we go on. Trump announces new face mask recommendations after heated internal debate. President Donald Trump said Friday his administration was now recommending Americans wear non-medical cloth face coverings, a reversal of previous guidance that suggested masks were unnecessary for people who weren't sick. Trunk I'm telling you, I've struggled the past couple of days. Trump said the recommendations, which came after a week of heated deliberations inside the White House, were voluntary and that he would not partake. I don't think I'm going to be doing it, he said. Good for him. After weeks of insisting Americans should not wear face masks to prevent the spread of coronavirus, and even suggesting their use could increase the chance of infection, administration officials this week engaged in an internal debate over reversing course, according to people familiar with the matter. Behind the scenes, officials were divided about the wisdom of advising Americans to cover their faces in public, with some fear could cause a lapse in social distancing efforts that remain officials' best hope of preventing further spread. And I hadn't thought about it from that angle, but that's very true, right? Folks are going to put these things on their face and go, I've got magic protection now. I can be as close as I want to be. And they just don't protect you. We know that. We keep sharing that this crap doesn't actually protect you. People are going to assume that they have some level of protection. They're going to have this handy-dandy security blanket wrapped around their face. And that's all it is. It's a thunder blanket for your face. And they're going to go, I have protection now. I can do whatever the hell I want. And then that's it. We're going to see a lot more sick people, I think, because, number one, they don't understand anything about respiratory protection. Number two, they're going to couple that and say, well, I don't know anything about it, but I think that I do because I have something over my face. Everything's going to be fine, so I'm going to go to Walmart. I'm going to go to the party. I'm going to go to the bar. I'm going to do whatever I want, and we're going to hug and all that stuff because I've got this magic thing that now protects me, so everything's fine. That's kind of what I think is going to happen. What do you think? I'd love to hear. 480-712-5219. I don't think it does a lot. I think that if you really just, it's not that I don't think, it's that I know that it doesn't a lot. It doesn't have a seal. It does not protect you, and I will continue to rant about this no matter what the flip the U.S. government says, because that's dumb. I'm just going to be honest with you. That's dumb. You're going to ask me to wear a piece of cloth over my face when I go out in public that does not do anything. And I get where they're coming from. I get the recommendation because they're going under this assumption that everyone's infected. So if you put a mask on everyone, you might potentially prevent stuff from going out as much. But I think when you look at the other side of that, how much more damage will it actually do with people assuming that they have protection now, not understanding the actual intent of it? Probably not going to be good. What are your thoughts? Let me know. Text me, 480-877-0155. Give me a call, 480-712-5219. Am I full of shit? Is that what it is? Maybe. I've been wrong before. I don't think I'm wrong on this one. I've been doing this for a while. I know a thing or two about how you protect yourselves in these situations, how you deal with respiratory protection. Kind of sort of think that they're the ones that are full of shit. So, again, I'm not going to be wearing one. Not going to happen. Sorry. I would rather remain 6 to 20 feet away from other folks than wear one of these stupid ass masks. Immunity certificate is the way to get out of restrictions. That's an interesting headline. Is an immunity certificate the way to get out of coronavirus lockdown? Perhaps half the world's population is living under some form of restriction to help curb the spread of coronavirus. Many are starting to wonder when and how these tough limits on everyday activities will end. Most experts agree that the only way out of a lockdown is testing. Reliable tests would allow people to know whether they have had the virus and therefore enjoy at least a degree of immunity. They would give officials the ability to isolate new outbreaks when they emerge. That's probably true. I think advancements in testing, advancements in treatment, all that stuff is probably going to be the way that we have to really lift ourselves out of this. That's probably going to be the bigger stuff that's going on there as we kind of move forward. What are your thoughts? I've seen some testing going on here in the state. I know ASU, Arizona State University, has been working with some local folks. And I've actually seen some testing that's happening, official testing that's happening, and I don't know how accurate that is. It's some things that they basically invented. One thing that I will say is that I'd read an article earlier today, and I don't have it in front of me. I was looking. I thought that I had here. I do have a little bit of it, but like this much if I took a screenshot of it. But with that. You've got assholes that emerge with this stuff. So we know that, right? We know that. So I will tell you, especially for your folks out there, your boomer generation, they just fall for crap so much. Let's just be honest. You could be like, there's a rich prince in Dubai that says that he has $1 million. You just have to send him 1,000 first, and they're like, sign me up. Where? What do I got to do? What do I got to do to get this freaking $1 million? Tell me. Tell me. I believe anything anybody says on the internet because the internet is always true. That's the boomer generation in a nutshell. We know that. We love them. We love them. But that's just who they are. People prey on that because the article that I was referring to is in Kentucky. Fake coronavirus testing sites are appearing pretty regularly. And that's probably going to happen just about everywhere. So if you have a boomer in your life that you love and care about, tell them that they're freaking fake and tell them how to spot them. The picture that they were showing of like the fake coronavirus testing site had like a guy in like a makeshift respirator and like a Tyvek suit wearing like tennis shoes. And if they're charging, like here's your first sign, right? If they're charging you for it, it's probably not that official, right? They're basically doing like checkpoints on the road. Like these rednecks in Kentucky are going out and setting up these checkpoints and going $250. It's $250 and we give you your test. We work for the Kentucky state, blah, blah, whatever, right? And people are, there you go, test me. And they're not testing for anything. I would be interested in how they're actually administering the test. But I thought that was interesting. So again, if you have those folks that are easily, folks that are a little gullible, if you close your eyes and think about the folks that you know in your family on Facebook that are like, I got to reshare this because Facebook's doing a participation audit, and if I don't share this, they're going to delete my Facebook account. Go talk to that person. Let them know that this is going on because that's the kind of people that fall for this shit. Let's just be honest. I just can't. Okay, I'm sorry. I just can't. Just go help them. Back to helping, not hiding. Go help them. Close your eyes and imagine the person that's your crazy Uncle Joe Bob that's bringing you the email going, I got this email. It said I'm related to a prince in Abu Dhabi. Right? That person. Just think about that person. You might want to go and have a conversation with them. Listen, people are going to try to scam you right now even more than any other time. There's a lot of wild and crazy stuff going out in the world. You take Uncle Joe Bob that's already pretty gullible and then you scare the shit out of him, and I think this is the kind of stuff that you get. So I would love to know how many folks actually fell for that and what age ranges actually fell for that. Moving on to some cooler news, I think. I've been watching that. I shared with you yesterday. I've been watching these David Spade interviews where he's been interviewing a lot of the Tiger King cast. They're phenomenal. I watched some more today, and I still don't remember what they're called. Right now they're called like lo-fi chats or something. I don't know what it is. He's basically doing them over a cell phone right now. But really cool. You should go check them out if you like the Tiger King stuff. You should definitely go check out those interviews. But there's been a lot of talk because David Spade, and I hold out my opinion that I think David Spade would play the best Joe Exotic. He just absolutely would, right? Just close your eyes and think about him in the Joe Dirt mullet, right? And then think about that going with bleach blonde, kind of shaved sides, the saggy kind of really old piercings, like the 47 earrings hanging down, and then again just like burnt to a crisp tan, like again bleach blonde, mullet, all that kind of stuff. Just imagine that as David Spade, and I think it would be amazing. But David Spade gave his thoughts on potentially playing the real life Joe Exotic, and we know the Joe Exotic, right? If you don't, you should. E.T.'s Lauren Zima spoke with the 55-year-old comedian via video chat on Wednesday, and he said he was just as obsessed with the true crime documentary as everyone else. And I think that shows because he was interviewing like all these folks. He's already interviewed multiple cast members from the series for his Comedy Central show. Here you go, Lights Out with David Spade. And plenty of fans have already pointed out those similarities of what we were just talking about. This is David Spade going on to say, I didn't think that right away. Spade tells E.T. about the comparison between Joe Exotic and the character of his 2001 film, Joe Dirt. I just thought, it's crazy. And then I started thinking because in the movie, everyone knows that Joe Dirt, I get a job on an alligator farm in Florida, and then I get caught in the alligator. He flips me around. That was even scary to do the scene with a fake alligator. I would never do it with a real one. And the whole movie, I started thinking, this is like the whole world that we were into in that movie, and it's very similar. And the reason these people are doing interviews is because of Joe Dirt. Spade explains that he is not interested in playing playing exotic, but does offer up his own Dreamcast. He was talking about John Rinke, I think that's his name, and I listened to this in the interview. You guys know what I'm talking about. The only way that I know how to describe him, he's a gentleman with prosthetic legs in the show. But it goes on to say that Matthew McConaughey he'd be excellent. And I did not draw that comparison, but they are very similar. They actually have some very similar appearance and very similar in their speech. It's pretty great. But look, I get it. He doesn't want to play it. He's basically went on to say that he thinks it's too dark for him. I mean, the show's just too dark, and I get that. David Spade, that would be pretty rough. I listened to him talk about some of his influence behind Joe Dirt, and I didn't realize. I mean, it's dumb. I guess it's dumb that I didn't, but I didn't realize that David Spade had grew up right here in Scottsdale. I think he went to Saguaro High School over here. That's here near Phoenix, right? And that's basically what he had based Joe Dirt off of. He's like, I just like the methed out like redneck Arizona and like walking around no shirt on with a mullet, burnt to a crisp tan kind of. He's like, that's exactly what I based Joe Dirt on. And I'm like, yeah, I can see that. We don't have many of those around here anymore, but there's a few, right? So I thought that was super interesting. I'm telling you, I just think that for John Rinke, for sure, the manager, definitely Matthew McConaughey, definitely David Spade for Joe Exotic. I just think that and he wants Channing Tatum for John Finley. So that was the guy that, if you see, that had the kind of messed up grill, who's since been fixed like over a year ago, from what I understand from watching some of the interviews. If you get a chance, go check out those interviews. They're definitely worth the watch. Once you start watching those, they're available on YouTube. Once you start watching those, you're not going to be able to turn away, because they really paint a lot of the picture behind the scenes that the movie really didn't show. So give us a call, 480-712-5219. Shoot us a text, 480-877-0155. We're going to keep this thing going for just a little bit longer, and then I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to go to the house. I'm going to jump on my shiny new bicycle. We're going to go for a cruise around the neighborhood, try to get a little bit of exercise in. Hopefully tonight, since we can't get out of the house and go to the gym. That's what's killing me more than anything else, I think. I want to get back to the gym. How are you passing the time? I would love to hear. I've been sharing with you a lot about me. You can tell I'm doing pretty good, I hope, at least at the moment. Things can always get worse, but for right now, things are pretty good. I really can't complain. Looking at today's super-duper famous people birthdays, Eddie Murphy, born today, says he's turning 59, and I don't know the credibility of this website. I'm just browsing. Alec Baldwin turning 62 today. Jane Goodall, 86. Who else do we have? Anybody else that looks kind of cool? I just browse through, and if I see a name that stands out to me, then I will tell you. Doris Day, 1922 to 2019. Marlon Brando, who passed away in 2004. Adam Scott is 47 today. They really mix in like tons of folks. I have no clue who these people are. Apparently, so let me put it to you this way. Apparently, some folks like YouTube folks are way more famous than Eddie Murphy by comparison with this this app. But maybe not in my opinion. But I guess for them, whatever. It's their website, whatever they want. I'm just sharing with you what it says. See what's going on this day in history. If there's anything cool going on, I got to get through the spam. On this day in 1996, a Unabomber was arrested. Pretty wild. In 1996, U.S. Secretary of Commerce Ron Brown was killed in a plane crash. Browsing. See if there's anything good that stands out again. In this day in 1882, Jesse James is murdered. In 1865, during the Civil War, the Confederate capital of Richmond, my home state, is captured. In 1776, Congress authorizes privateers to attack British vessels. We know how all that turned out for the Brits. Love you guys over there. Love my UK fam that we always end up chatting around with on LinkedIn. Hope things are going good for you. I'd love to hear from my folks and friends and those that are near and dear to me over in that part of the woods, how things are going for you. let's see what's going on else out there in the news. I'm just browsing through the news. I'm sharing it with you as I see it. I haven't pre-read any of this stuff. I just pull it up to see what the latest headlines are, and if it's cool, if it draws my interest, I will share it with you. You'll get to see my reaction to it as I kind of go through it with you, because again, I'm not pre-reading any of this stuff. Opinion: Tiger King is addictive, absurd, and scary. Well, yeah. that's the headline. I'm not digging into that one. I don't want to really know, I don't think. Let me see. I'm fighting with my cell phone too, as always. See what's going on anywhere else in the news. We'll just Google news and see what comes up. How about that one? So let's go to Google News and see what's happening there. What was that? TSA confirms first employee death from coronavirus. That's pretty interesting. Dan Crenshaw slams Biden ex-Obama aide for criticizing U.S. coronavirus response. Of course, everything's always going to turn into some political crap. Now this is probably pretty good. I'm seeing this one. Oregon veteran survives coronavirus, celebrates his 104th anniversary. I can't top that. That dude's a badass, obviously, right? I mean, that's all you can say. It was a very happy 104th birthday for World War II veteran William. I'm not even going to try. Lapschitz? I don't know. Sorry, William. I'm butchering that. But he turned 104 on Wednesday. The Lebanon, Oregon resident celebrated with his family members after surviving a recent bout with the coronavirus. Ain't nothing to it. Ain't nothing to it for those folks. They're so much tougher, right? What the hell? They're so much tougher than us. So I think we just need to toughen up a little bit. He is fully recovered. He is very perky, and he is very excited. Dr. Carol Lee Brown told OregonLive.com. Photos posted online show his outdoor birthday bash at the Veterans Home in Lebanon, celebrating balloons and large happy birthday sign while seated in his wheelchair and wearing a mask. The party attendees practiced social distancing, except for when some nursing home staffers who also wore masks provided some aid to the gentleman. The festive occasion was a little more subdued than that in 2016, when about 250 people gathered to help him mark his 100th birthday. So good for him. How awesome is that to actually see news like that? I think that's awesome. I can see if I can share with you the gentleman's picture here. I don't see any problem with that. But look, I mean, it doesn't get much better news than that. Like, look at that. 104 years old, just beat coronavirus, kicked its ass, and out there celebrating birthday 104. That's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. Congratulations, William. I love it. I like it. I got to have more of it. That's more of the stories I think we need to be hearing about as we continue on in this thing. Life's crazy. That's something cool, something fun, something good to actually talk about. Biden offers to call Trump White House to discuss coronavirus response. We already talked about that a little bit. They're going to keep churning that out and out and over and over and over again. We talked about that a few days ago. Navy captain fired for letter about coronavirus to USS Roosevelt gets big send-off from sailors. Yeah, I haven't read too much into that story, so I will reserve my comments, but pretty wacky. Seems pretty wacky with some of what happened there. I don't know exactly, but I think that one's going to really get blown open pretty big soon, hopefully. That was a really interesting thing. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go take a look. I haven't read into enough to give you my opinion, but again, go take a look. See inside the 3,000-bed coronavirus hospital being built in the largest convention center in North America. I have not seen this. Chicago, the largest convention center in North America, is being converted into 3,000-bed alternate care facility for COVID-19 patients. And yeah, go look at that. That's huge facility being put together there. I haven't really seen what's going on with Phoenix. I have not read. That might be something cool to look into, see if they're doing that in the Phoenix Convention Center. I would assume that Phoenix has several large venues that I would assume are being turned into some of these things. I haven't researched that. Maybe I'll look into that and see what's going on and share that with you. The one thing that I will share with you is, as you know, I told you before, I pass the VA all the time on my way here. And when I passed the VA, Today I noticed, I told you before, they basically built this gigantic field hospital. It's two of those very large size. I'm not familiar with how they work, but they look like gigantic inflatable tents, right? They're gigantic, big circus tent looking things that kind of pop up really fast. And they had two of those massive ones put together and then connected in the center. Then I noticed today that they added a third and a fourth, so they're expanding that. I noticed there were some big, large trailers moved there. So Phoenix is basically preparing. I can tell you the conversations I've had, a lot of the work that I've been doing this week, we're preparing for it to hit hard in the next little bit. We're just not quite there yet. It's really going to be over this next week, 2 weeks, I believe, here when things get wild and crazy. How are things going for you? How are things going in your neck of the woods? I always want to hear from you. Please, 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 please give us a call, 480-712-5219. You can also text us, 480-877. There's my redneck that always continues to come out. You can always text us. You can text us, 480-877, or text us, 480-877-0155. You can always give us a call, all that kind of stuff. You can send us an email. You can jump into the DMs. That's a fun place to talk. That's where I talk to most of my friends and fam and all those kind of folks. Hot fam out there when we got this thing going on. Feel free to get in touch. We're going to wrap this thing up here pretty soon. Let's look at some cool stuff before we do. Let's see how things are going up in Flagstaff, Arizona. I love Flagstaff. Look, good and dead. That's a good thing. Nice and dead. Got a few folks there. This is right at the start of rush hour for Friday. So that's not what rush hour looks like in Flagstaff. We've talked about this. We know this. Look at that. That's usually a very busy little strip of road. I'll just level with you. The last time I was up there, that was a blizzard. I had to go up and do it for some work right at the beginning of the year. I went and spent about a week there. And then actually went back and spent about another week there. It's about 3 hours away from where I live, three and a half hours. And beautiful. I love going up there. I love Flagstaff. Flagstaff is a beautiful little town. But stayed at a hotel right on the edge of the NAU campus and got to, sit out there and watch the blizzard. I mean, it was like a couple feet of snow. It was massive. It was cool. It was awesome. I missed the snow. I know people, they say I'm crazy when I say that, but I'll drive the 3 hours to Flag just to see the snow, just because I like it. I love it. I miss the snow. I like having the option of not being in it. If that makes sense. I like having the option of just going up and checking it out when I feel like it. There's downtown Phoenix. It's hanging out. It's still there. Downtown Phoenix is still there. There's some different angles for you. I don't prepare this stuff beforehand. I just randomly pull it up so you get to see me kind of tinker with it as we go through. But there's the beautiful downtown Phoenix. See the mountains there off in the distance. Just some random angles of Phoenix. It's a beautiful sunny day. It's kind of warm out today. It's kind of nice. Looking over at some of the government municipal buildings. I think that's the police department there that we're staring at, if I remember correctly. If you've not been to Phoenix, you should. Come out and hang out with us. Not right now. I will tell you, you shouldn't come here right now. That's probably not smart. I would encourage you to stay away. We don't want to see you right now. But at some point, look at all this construction. Phoenix just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. When you're driving down, 10 cuts right through the middle of town. I mean, you probably can count at any given time, these tower cranes, you can count like 8 of those at any given time, just building their little hearts away, just going up and up and up with skyscrapers. You go on down the road just a little bit to Tempe, Arizona. That's just the metro area. So you kind of, if you're familiar with the area, any metro, we've got kind of towns and cities around it, and Phoenix is kind of at the heart of it. And it's all just one big blob, right? It's all one big city, really. We can say it's not, but it is. But you get to Tempe, and Tempe's full of skyscrapers too, and they're continuing to build more and more and more and more. So it's same thing there. You go there, and there's just cranes after cranes, just building and building and building. So it's good to see Phoenix continuing to grow. Since I've been here, it's grown a lot. I've been here for about 10 years now. So again, how are things looking for you? How's construction going? That would be something that's interesting to see. I think I'm always interested in how work is going, how business is going out there. Text us. God, I cannot say it right. It's just one of those days. Texas, and let us know. 480-877-0155. Get that out of my system there. Maybe I can say text now. I've got that out of our system. You can always text us. You can always call us. It doesn't matter when it is. You're watching this later. You can shoot us a text. You can give us a call. 480-877-0155, 480-712-5219. You can leave us junk there, and we can talk about it. You can send me your story, right? Shoot me a text. Let me know what things look like for you. How's your town looking? How's your city looking? How are things going for you? I would love to share your stories here live on the show. You can call in. You can leave us a voicemail with that, and I'll gladly share that too. Or you can call in live or text in live. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for me. It's a lot of fun for you. We're just having all kinds of fun is what it seems like. That's really about all I've got for today, to be completely honest with you. I'm going to start wrapping things up here. What you don't see is when I get here, it takes about, a little bit of time to get everything on and set up and going. That's one really cool thing. You can tell this is starting to get a little empty, so it's about time to go. But that's one thing that I really like about the Hop Nerd Studios here. And I keep threatening you with a tour, and we're going to do a tour at some point, I promise you. But this continues to grow. This setup continues to get a little bit better and better and better. And we're trying to continually make it better and better and better. I've got some other stuff. I've talked to you about the cameras. We're working on some of the cameras at some point when we can. We've got a couch that's off to this side, and we're basically going to continue this set on towards the couch because I'm planning some stuff. And what I'm planning is to cram a bunch of people in here when it makes sense to do that. Not anytime soon, when we're all not contagious agents of death, when we're all not that, then I'm going to actually have some party here where I'm going to get a bunch of folks together and I'm going to talk to you and do a big live stream. That's going to be fun, right? We're going to do that a couple times. We're going to invite random guests here. We're going to have folks over. We're going to have folks sitting across the table. You've seen my significant other, my honeyboo thing that comes out and hangs out with us sometimes. That's always fun. He's not here today because he's working. He's out on the front lines of this thing, as I've shared. I'm very proud of him, always proud of him. He's a nurse. He's out there doing that stuff. But we're going to do that at some point. We're going to have some safety folks here. We're going to have some other interesting folks that aren't safety folks. We're going to have some hot folks here. I'm planning some stuff when all this stuff kind of breaks loose, when we can actually do that. We're going to have folks here in the studio. So maybe at some point in the future, once we get things a little more pieced together, we'll do that studio tour. I'll show you that. I think that would be fun. But we're setting up to where we can have folks over here on the couch hanging out with us, mic'd up, talking on screen, camera angles, all that stuff. Have folks obviously here around the table. This is actually set up for another person that can go here, and two on this side, and two over there. It's going to be a big party, so that's going to be fun. I'm excited to get to make some of that content for you at some point. But that's not happening today. That's a teaser for you, I guess. Maybe sometime next week I'll get bored enough to actually do that for you. I think it'd be fun if we do it live. Maybe I'm crazy to not have the ability to edit that, but maybe we'll do it live. I got to throw away a bunch of my boxes and crap. We put up these cool handy curtains here that go all the way around, one kind of L shape around one wall here. I'm not crazy enough to cover up all this beautiful brick, as bad as it kills sound and gets all boomy and echoey. I'm not covering it up, sorry. I'm just going to put some bass straps here or there at some point. But we covered up some of the drywall with some layers of stuff. And I told you this, but we layered up some stuff and some soundproofing material and all that stuff. So the neighbors don't hate us, so we don't hate the neighbors. I got to get some blinds to go behind here because there's windows behind this curtain if you can't tell. I'm still waiting on my blinds to come in. Unfortunately, my blinds aren't in urgent need, nor is my air conditioner, as we've talked about. Those are not essential yet. So air conditioning becomes essential in Arizona in about end of April. So we've got a little bit of time. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'll share it with you at some point. But in the meantime, do me a favor. If you're watching this, if it's after we're off the air, go ahead and shoot us a text. You can see these numbers right here. Look at all these beautiful numbers. Look at that. 480-877-0155. You can shoot us a text. You can give us a call, 480-712-5219. If we're off the air, you can use either or. But this one over here is probably the easiest one, right? This one still comes directly to me, and I can put it in my show notes wherever I'm at. If I make show notes, I didn't make any for tonight. I haven't made any for a while because I just get up here and ramble until I don't feel like rambling, and I almost feel like not rambling anymore, so it's time to go. That's what that means. I'm almost out of this. My beautiful Ultra Fiesta Monsters. They're delicious. You should get them. It's just tasty. It's just tasty. Pick these up every single week. Plus, I don't know. I've not been in a super big coffee mood. I share with you all the time. I'm a coffee person. I'm pretty basic. I'm basic. I'll admit it. I love my Nespresso. I've got the little Nespresso machine. I've got the Keurig machine at the house too. The Keurig's really, once you go Nespresso, you look at Keurig like it's like disgusting, right? But I've really been hammering these down because I'm a Starbucks person. That's back to me being basic. I like black cold brew coffee, not iced coffee, cold brew. And right now, my Starbucks has these really wonky hours. I don't know, you guys seeing that too? For me, they're really weird. Hours closes at about noon every day right now, so it is what it is. So usually by the time I get ready to come here, most of the time I get coffee is like midday. That's weird, right? But I might get one on the way to the gym. I usually don't get it in the morning because I have a cup at the house. I have one of these on the way to work. Take one of these with me to work or something like that, or I'll have coffee at work. But again, this whole apocalypse has screwed up my normal schedule. It's screwed up my Starbucks' schedule too, because then when I get in the car to come here, they're not open. I look like a jackass pulling into the drive-thru the other day, and they're like, I sit there and I'm like, waiting, nothing. And then dumbass me finally reads the sign that's on the thing, and it's like, oh, we close at noon during the week now. Sorry, bye. What? Really? Starbucks is as essential as it gets. I'm sorry. It's as essential as it gets. And I love my Starbucks peeps. They're always there for me. There's two main ones that I go to. They are amazing. I actually took a picture at one the other day, and I'll tell you, I won't share it with you here. I plan on sharing it, and I forgot about it. Until we started having this conversation. But I'm going to have to share it. It's a really neat picture. I'll have to pop that up on our on social media. They're just great. They're really out there, really continuing to try to take care of the neighborhoods. We've got one right here where we're at in the studio. The studio's in a really cool neighborhood. I've shared this with you again at some point, I'm sure. But we're in the Arts District of Phoenix, and the Arts District of Phoenix started, and then it took like a nosedive, and it really sucked for a while, and everything got kind of abandoned, and it's just now really starting to come back, and it's really cool. The Arts District is really cool, and we're right on the corner of the kind of. Here's the Arts District, and we're kind of like right here on the edge of it. It's perfect. It's a perfect spot for this because most of my building is galleries. Most of the stuff around us are galleries and painters and photographers and musicians, and we kind of fit right in. We're kind of this whole kind of bohemian something thing going on here too, right? Not us. We're punk rock and safety, right? And we blend right in here. It's awesome. But it's pretty cool. So we're kind of right on the edge of all that stuff, which is pretty neat. It's really good for us. But again, I'm here rambling. I'm going to go ahead and get off here. If you're watching this after the fact, once again, make sure that you text us, you call us. This is our Friday show, so if you're listening to this on the podcast, thank you for hanging out. Our Wednesday and Friday shows, our two main live streams, go on to the pod, so you'll be hearing this there. I usually get done here and go over there, and then I put that on before I head out to the house. I still got to do that. Thanks for reminding me, Internet. Jeez, God, leave me alone. But until next time, this is Sam Goodman, the Hop Nerd. Thank you for continuing to hang out with us. Thank you for allowing me to be your tour guide to the apocalypse. Thank you for being my friend and hanging out and having these conversations with us. We will be back. Again, I told you the weekends, I don't know if it's hit or miss. I might talk to you. I'll probably talk to you tomorrow. I don't know if I'll talk to you for sure on Sunday. I would say we will, probably. I say that, and then I always end up here doing this because I can't stay away from you. I just love you guys so much. So head over to the website, www.thehopnerd.com. Follow along on all things social media, all that kind of fun stuff. You can always find me. Either look for this ugly face or that. Yeah, there you go. That handy dandy logo right there. You know it's me if you see the ugly mug or the logo or both. You'll know it's me. I'm pretty easy to spot. Follow along on LinkedIn, Samuel Goodman. You will see me there. Go take a look. Like the Hop Nerd page there too. I pump out a bunch of content pretty frequently there, and I try to put out valuable stuff. I hope you like it. I hope you love it. I hope you like it enough that you steal it and use it. I hope you take it and make it better than I could ever imagine to use it. That's what I really hope for. So that's all I've really got. I will see you at some point tomorrow, I would say. I'm going to get off here. Have a great rest of your night. I can't wait to talk to you again. This is Sam Goodman, the Hop Nerd, your tour guide to the apocalypse, currently. Signing off. Bye, everybody. Bye.